Hello gardening fans, welcome back to Whispering Roots. It's me again, Nick. Today, we're going to be walking through some up-potting techniques for your plants. Because these guys are getting a little too big for these containers, so we need to get them into some bigger pots so they're going to turn out massive. First, let's talk about our materials. We need some nice potting mix. One of these Scoopy Boys. Our plants, of course. Some brand new pots that are larger than our old pots, otherwise we wouldn't be up potting, that would be crazy. We need some tape and a marker so we can label what we're doing. And of course, a nice watering can. Alright, so let's jump right in. First, I'm going to take one of our larger pots, which I have pre-labeled. And if you can see, I wrote the name of what it is we're planting, the initial plant date, when it was first up-potted, and our secondary up-potting, just to keep track for my personal records. Now, hello Scoopy Boy, it's your turn to shine. We're gonna get a nice scoop full of dirt, soil, excuse me. And we're gonna fill up our pot about a third of the way. Now our tomatoes, we can measure before we actually put it in the pot, how far down we want to go. And if you look really closely at tomatoes, this is very interesting. You see all these hairs right here? If given the chance, those will turn into roots. So if your tomatoes get super leggy, which just means that they're way too tall and they're gonna flop over, you can really bury them as long as you take off small branches like this, up as high as you want to go. And you'll have a much stronger plant with an incredible root structure. So we're gonna take our fingers, like we're Spock, put it in between the stem like so, flip it upside down and gently squeeze. Look at all these roots. They're beautiful. Gorgeous. All right, let's pop them in there. I want this guy deep, so I'm gonna dig a little bit in there, make a nice little crater for him. And I'm gonna just gently break off this lowest branch, because we don't need that. We want our plant to focus its energy on making new roots and growing out some of these bigger branches for later. Now we're taking our Scoopy Boy again and just gently filling in around the outside, making sure to break up any big clumps as you see them. And remember, it's a good idea to do this in a tray because you kind of get dirt everywhere, even when you're being careful. You get a little more in there. All right, look at that. He's got a brand new home. Now, onto the cucumber. Basically, you do the same thing. Use our Scoopy Boy to get some nice quality potting mix in there. Going up about a third of the way inside the pot. And I already labeled the cucumber, don't worry. Now look on the cucumber. You want to bury it up, you see those bumps right there? That's what becomes the roots on the cucumber vine. So you can go up to about right there. You don't want to go too much higher. Same technique, Spock hands, live long and prosper. Gently squeeze. Look at that root structure. Beautiful. Nestle our little friend in there. And gently fill around with some more of our delightful potting mix. Look at that. Now there's only one step left. Let's give these friends some life-giving water. You want to do this slowly because as the water travels through the soil, it's pushing out a lot of the air that was in there because we were just using dry soil. So you can let it settle. You see how the soil kind of goes down a little bit? And you know you're done watering it when water starts to come out of the very bottom holes in the pot. Look at that. We did a great job. Now, you might be asking yourselves, Nick, why are you up-potting these plants? Why don't you just go stick them in the ground? Well, that's a really good question. What if you don't have a big garden? What if you wanted to grow your stuff in pots on your back deck or whatever? This is the perfect way to do it. You'd probably want to use a bigger pot than this, or you'd have to add nutrients. But the world's your oyster. Remember, you want to make sure that you're using lukewarm water, not hot and not cold when you're watering these bad boys, because you don't want to shock them. Oh, well, that was an exhausting day of work, right, Monstro? Yesterday, I replanted our aquaponics system. We got 4 different kinds of lettuce getting started in there, and they look little right now, but pretty soon they're gonna explode into massive heads of lettuce. Isn't that right, Monstro? So stay tuned to Whispering Roots TV and check back in later, because we got a couple more builds planned for you. I think we're gonna do an aeroponic system and maybe a hydroponic system later on. See you later. Stay green, my friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe. He's still chewing. Just wait. He'll go for it. No.